lecture, we will learn about a problem known as finding all combinations of well-formed brackets. So what is this about? So let's see with one example. So if you have one pair of brackets, how many different combinations can be made? So there's only one. If you do like this, open closed bracket then open, this is not correct. Then we have n is equal to 2. So we might make like this, two brackets are there well formed, and otherwise this is also well formed, so one bracket inside the other. But something like this is not correct. Okay, so this is also in fact correct. Okay, something like this will not be correct. So you should have well formed brackets, and if you see, this is for the all the different combinations of three pair of brackets. So first one is this one. I open all the three brackets and then close all the three brackets. Then I open one bracket, then open one and close one, open again one bracket, close it, and finally I close the first bracket. This is another one. Other one is this. Then the next one is I have one bracket here, then I have the brackets like this. Another one is just all the brackets opening and closing. So I have 5 such brackets. So what we will look in this lecture is how many, if there are n such pair of brackets, what is the number of brackets, well formed brackets that are there, and how to write a code such that all such pairs can be generated. So this is again what I am showing. N is equal to 1, you have just these brackets. N is equal to 2, we have these two possibilities, and n is equal to 3, we have these possibilities, and the possibilities grows on, okay, as the number increases. So let's try to see the code. What should we write? So we can add left and, so what should be the main idea? So we can add left and right brackets to a string recursively. Okay, so how should it happen? I should have a string where I can add the left bracket, open bracket, close bracket, and I should maintain kind of count of these brackets. Okay, because these count, because I'm given that n value, let's say it's 3, then my left bracket count cannot be greater than 3 and right bracket count cannot be greater than 3. So this is recursive operation should be there. So let's see the code. We devise it step by step. So what we can do is that the main case is that, okay, when we hit the solution, when open number of braces is n and closed number of braces is n, then we are ready, we should write the output. Okay, but so we have two brackets, this is a solution because open brackets the count is 2 and closed brackets count is 2. This is fine, but this does not take into account that, okay, this is also fine for this case. Okay, so but here you have first is closed bracket then open bracket, so this is not correct. Then what I say is that, okay, let's try out all the possibilities. So I say that, okay, I give a recursive call brackets, I give output plus the left bracket, and then I do count. Open count is incremented by 1, closed remains the same, and n is to check that, okay, these many brackets I want. Now after this I do a closed bracket. So will this do? What will happen? So a few things to check. Okay, so what all should we check? So here what we have done is fine, but will it give us correct result? Okay, so here we have the base case also. Okay, so this is no base case for recursion, it will not go endless. Okay, so this is in fact I wrote wrong, so it will stop at 3. and we are going that okay, we will have, I will go and I will call this brackets with 0. So I will write a string s 0 comma 0 comma 2 I give, then for 2 brackets it should give me the output. So will it work? So let's try to see, or do we need something more? So one very important thing is that the number of right brackets should never be more than the number of left bracket, or number of closed brackets can never be more than the number of open brackets. So this is fine. So at any instance of running, the number of left bracket, the closed bracket should be less than the number of open brackets. So how should we bring this into picture? So what we do, one thing is that okay, so we have open should be less than n, okay, and this close should be less than n, so that they cannot proceed for more than n number of brackets are there in my string. Now, but we say that yes, also we need at any time number of, what I said, the left bracket should be greater than the number of right brackets, okay, greater than equal to. So how we do that? So close should always be less than open, okay, then you will work fine. So why? So we have like this. So this is fine. Till now we have number of open brackets are 2 and number of closed bracket is 1. This is valid. If you see, this is also a valid expression. I have here 3 open braces and 1 closed braces, but it can be made like this and it will become valid. But anytime if you have the number of closed bracket is more than the number of open bracket, there will be problem, okay. So this is a problem. It's not a valid statement, because first you have to open the brace, then only you will close the brace. So we need to put close should be less than open, then only I should put more close bracket, and open braces should be less than n, so that it is less than n, because then it will go and increment +1, then it will become n. So let's try to see this code in running. So this is our code, okay, the final code. So the name is brackets. I have a string, so this is I have written in C++. So there is a string output, int open, the number of open braces, int close, the number of closed braces, and int pairs, that is the number of braces that we want. So if your open braces is equal to the number of braces that I want in my expression, and closed braces is also equal to the number of braces, then I should put the output. Otherwise, if open is less than the maximum number of brackets or the number of brackets, then I call bracket again, and in the output I write an open bracket, okay, so that it knows that okay, one brace, open brace has been included. I increment the number of open braces +1. Closed brace does not change because I have not added a closed brace. Pairs remains the same. Then what I do, I also have for every open bracket I have to give a closed bracket. This is done by calling bracket with a closed output plus closed bracket. I increment close +1. Let's try to see, okay, and I call it with bracket, give a string 0, 0, no open bracket now, no closed bracket, and max the allowed number of braces is 3. Okay, so this is done. Now let's try to see the running code. Okay, so let's try to see the running code. So what happens? This is the same code I have. Now let's try to see this. So we have the braces. Initially I start with B. So I've not included string is here, and these are the open, close, and the pair. Okay, so this is first argument is here is open, close, then pair. So initially I call with B003 and the output is here. So the string is just like this, empty string. Then it comes here and it says that is open equal to pair, and let's try with 3. Okay, but before 3 let's try the code with something easier. Okay, and that would be we should try with 2. So let's try to see this code with 2. So I call B002. It means open bracket is now 0, close bracket is 0. I call maximum number of bracket is 2. So what will happen now? It will check the code and it will see that okay, so the open and close bracket are not both 2, so it will call first with open bracket. So it will add here like this. It will add one bracket. So let's start from here, B002. So there's nothing, then it will call and it will increment B102. So open bracket is incremented in string, it becomes this. Again it goes to the same function. Now also open and close are not 2, so it again calls the bracket again and it adds one more bracket here, open bracket. This becomes 2, open value becomes 2, 0 and 2. Then again it comes here and it sees that now open bracket is equal to 2 and your open bracket can never be more than 2 because this is the number of braces. So now it goes to the next line. It now increments the right brace or the closing brace. So it becomes like this now. Again it calls B2. Now again it is inside that bracket function. So you cannot increment the open bracket now. It has reached its value 2. But here again the number of right braces or close braces still 1. It can be incremented. It becomes 2. And your string becomes like this. Okay. So we have hit our first solution. Okay. This is one possibility. Then what happens? But we have two possibilities. And this is the open number of braces, closed number of braces and total number of braces. Okay. Now what happens? Let's try to look how the recursion backtracks. Okay, it comes back. So let's try to see. So this one is removed, this function comes back, this is removed from the stack. This also because it was the last line that was executed, the right brace. After this there was nothing. This goes back. Then we have B202. So now this was also done. I can never go more than this. And all other possibilities have been done. So I come out of here. Then we have B102. And B102, I increased one more brace. That whole thing got completed here. My next idea is I should increment B1 and this right brace I can put here itself. So let's look. So let's see here. So what we have is that now let's try to see the other one. So we are done till here. Now what happens? So this is done. Next what happens is it comes to this place, and from here now let's try to see V102. So it tried by going to B2. So now next line is that add right brace. So it calls B112. So it becomes this. Again it goes and now it has both one open and close. So incremented one is the open first. So it becomes 212 and like this it is added. Then it goes and it becomes 2. Now it cannot be incremented. It goes to the next line, adds right brace. So it becomes 2 and it becomes like this here. Okay, it was here. So now this one is the all possibility. Then it goes out, it leaves here, it comes to B2, 1, 2. Now also I tried this possibility. This is done. So I return back to this place. So 1, 2 was also tried. Then I can try out 1. So this open bracket was done. I come to this place. So can I increment this? So that cannot happen because your right number of braces can never exceed the left number of braces. So I cannot go now to B1, 2, 2 because number of close braces should be always less than the number of open braces. Okay, so this I don't go, so I come back to b1 comma 1. b1 comma 1 comma 2 was called from here. I come back to b0 comma 0 comma 2. So again here I can again call b0 comma 1. Shall I call? I will not call, because again 1 is becoming greater than 0. So this also goes out, and finally I have all the possibilities, that was this one and this one, both are printed. Okay, so this is the example. We can try out with 3 also. Okay, so let's quickly see that for 3. Now because you have understood for 2, so it will be easier for 3. So we start with 0 comma 0 comma 3. This is a code is also there, it will be easier. So I come here, I go to 0 comma 0, open is 0, close is 0. So I come to this line, open is less than pairs, that is 3. So here pair is equal to 3. So I go to 1 and I again go and add 1, this left one. Then I go to the next one with b103. It again sees that okay, it comes to this one, open is less than pairs, it becomes b2 comma 203, and 2 outputs are added. Now again it goes and sees here open is less than pairs, it goes to p203, 3 braces are added, open braces. Now what happens, I go to, so this is b303. Now I come here and I see that okay, now again this is not satisfied. I go b303, this one is now not satisfied, so I come to the next line, line number 4. Close is less than open, yes, 0 is less than 3, so I call b313. So added is this one. Then I call again b313. I come here, this line is not executed because open is now less than 3. I again increment this, so it becomes like this. Again it comes here and 3 is not less than 3, so I again call bracket with right braces. So this way now I have reached my first output. Okay, first output I have come. Next what should happen, so I go back to now b323, then I go to 303. Okay, I'm just coming back because all these are now executed. For all of them the second line was getting executed. So now let's try to see what happens. So we come back to b203. Why? Let's try to see here. This is important. So I'm here b3 comma 0 comma 3. So I come here. So what is there? It means I'm here in this function where this open brace is 3, this close brace is 3. I tried out all the possibilities, so it means this has been executed for 3. So this is done. So I now go back to 203. So now I have this b203. Then what should happen? Okay, so this is a bit complicated, lot of recursive calls are happening. So I come back here. So when I come back here, it means that now I have called these 2 braces are here, and what happens, I have not executed this one. Okay, the next call of adding the right brace. So I add a right brace, so it becomes like this. So we call now b213. Okay, so let's try to look. I have already got that. So b203 we come, and then let's try to see the call again. So we have b203, then I go to the next line, execute the right one here, and I come b213. Then what will happen, again it will see 2 is less than 3, so it goes to b313 and it adds this way. Now it goes again to the next function and b3 comma 1 comma 3. So 3 is already reached for the open braces. It goes to the next line, this one, and calls b3 comma 2 comma 3. So we have this one like, and then finally I go again and last brace is added here. So this becomes your second one. So this is our second output. So two inside braces, outside the outer one, inside the outer one. Then let's see where will it go now. So this is complete, so it returns back from this place. I go to here B3 comma 2 comma 3. So when I came here, I executed this line, then only I went here. So I am done with this also. I go to B313. So B313 again I had executed, that is already done. So 313 I went up, so this is done. I go to B213 now. So for 213 what had happened, let's try to see what will happen here. So B213, so I had already incremented 2, so it went away. Can I do, so this is there, so now still there is a possibility. So from here I went to this line, okay, and I return back here. So I can again execute this line. Close is less than open, so I go to B223, which means this and this is done. B2 comma 2 comma 3, I go there B2 comma 2 comma 3, and then what will happen, again it will go and it will do B3 comma 2 comma 3. So it will become like this, and again it goes with this argument, so it will become B3 3 3. So it will be, so this is your next one which is shown here. So this is the next one with all the calls. Now let's try to see where will we go back with this one. This is very important, where you are reaching from here. So I have executed this line, I come back from here, I go to back to 323. So 323 and then it changes 2 to 3. It means this line has been executed. So I come back from here to B2 comma 2 comma 3. So it means now I have tried out B2 to 3. So this was incremented, which means this line got incremented. I come here. So now I can run this, but if I run this, what will happen, B2 comma 3, but close should be less than open, so this will not get executed. So it returns from here B2 comma 2 comma 3, then it goes to B2 comma 1 comma 3. So 2 comma 1 comma 3 was, so 2 to 2 was done. So I come back to 203. So let's try to see the next slide. So this will not work. I come back here, okay. So let's try to see, so what is there. So 203, and here we are at, so we in fact come out to 103. Why? So why we will come back, we will come back to 213. So we come back to 103 from here. It means first bracket, after that we had tried 2, okay, so that everything was done. So now we can increase this, so be 1 comma 1 we should try to do. So 1 comma 0, so we went to 2. So now we try with the closed pair. So let's try to see this one. So b 1 comma 0 comma 3, this was done. So next line we executed this, so this is done, okay. So this is done, and then what happens is, then again I go to b1 comma 1 comma 3. I can increase this, so it becomes b2 comma 1 comma 3. Again I go, so I can now again increment this one. So I go like this, b3 comma 1 comma 3, and here what happens, it has reached 3. So next time I call, so I can now not increment the left brace, so I go to the right brace and I can increase this one. So it becomes b3 comma 2 comma 3. Again I go to the next level and I can still increment this right brace, so it becomes like this. So it is b3 comma 3 comma 3. So now I have reached the fourth solution. Where will I go back? Again, that is the question. So I will go back, 3 comma 3 comma 3 is done. I come back here 3 comma 2 comma 3, this last line is also implemented. I go back 3 1 comma 3 comma 1 comma 3, so this 1 to 2 it became, so this line is executed. I come back from here b2 comma 1 comma 3, so there was an increment in this one. So what will happen at b2 comma 1 comma 3, I had executed this line number 3, because I incremented the open brace. So I have not done with the closed brace here, so I come back to b2 comma 1 comma 3 and I can still execute by incrementing the closed brace. So this is till now like, so now we have the picture is b2 comma 1, so like this I increment, now it goes to b2 comma 2 comma 3, so it becomes like this. With this function call I can again open is less than pair, so it becomes b3 comma 2 comma 3, so it gets incremented like this, and finally it becomes 3 comma 3, so it is like this, and I can find my last solution, the fifth one. Okay, so this is about, and then you call back and finally there are no more solutions. Okay, so if you try out, so finally this is there, then you revert back, and then 2 comma 1 comma 3 I tried with the right one also, it is done. I come back to 1 comma 1 comma 3. Okay, and I can now 1 comma 1, so it became 1 comma 2. I return back to 1 comma 1 comma 3. I cannot call, so b1 comma 2, because close should be always less than open, so it comes back to b1 comma 0 comma 3. Again I will try to make b1 comma 1 comma 3, but you cannot make close equal to open. Okay, it should always be less than, so I then return back to b0 comma 0 comma 3. So there is a lot of stuff involved. So basically what you need to see is that it will make a kind of lot of options are always coming, but the open is less than pairs and close is less than open, cut out your tree branching.